Let's talk about Robbo for a second, Paddy, because I'm
Oh,
not going to lie, mate. I'm getting to a point where I want Costas to start.
I'm at that point already, and he wasn't great when he came on, but that's put down to surely. Robbo, listen, he does the work defensively, but and people are going to call me harsh. Going forward, he has been shit, genuinely awful. His link-up play non-existent. His deliveries are abysmal, awful. To all the people out there who have Robertson in their fantasy, take him out. He's not going to be getting that many assists. Yeah, he's been really poor, and I'm firmly at the stage where Kostas Tsimikas is my first choice left back.
Yeah, look, Costas isn't the complete player yet, but I do feel like if I'm Costas, I'm knocking on the manager's door, Chris, and saying, "Come on, give me a chance."
What's the point in having quality in depth if it's not there to provide a challenge for players who aren't playing well? We've spoken about midfield depth in this video. The one that we definitely do have equality in depth is at left back. The whole point of having a player like Tsimikas, I feel, is to sort of when Robertson's having a real poor time, is that there's not that much of a drop off. He can have a rest. He can take the time out, and if Tsimikas continues to play well, he can get himself a spot. Like I just don't understand why you would persist with someone who's played poorly. I would say since sort of the back end of the season, he was pretty poor going from sort of late April onwards. And yeah, I would 100% start Costas on Monday.
We also have to try and figure out, Paddy, a way to limit our naivety when we are attacking to transition back into defense when teams counter on us, because I'm fed up of us being wide open when our attacks break down and other teams being able to sit back like Palace did. Now, in fairness to Palace, it was a particularly good move from them with a great finish from Zaha, but we've seen that play out, Paddy, time and time again, that kind of scenario. Sometimes Ali bails us out. Sometimes Verge can get a block in. But other times we're left exposed when our fullbacks or our midfielders push on and we've got nobody back there to help out.
Just, yeah, and on that and on, just touching on the comment Dean's put in there, could we be finished?
Oh, God.
Do you know what I mean? It's a scary thought, but all good things must come to an end.
We're 2 games in.
I'd be lying if I said that hasn't crossed my mind in the past few weeks. I'd be lying to you if I said, are we on the downward slide now of this peak? I think with the current crop, the answer is probably yes.
What goes up must come down. We have the oldest squad in the league. The thought is people are going to be like, "Oh, it's only a few games in," but we have to discuss these things. We could be finished. We could be finished. I hope we're not, but conceivably we could be. It's going to have to go. Klopp had this at Dortmund as well, didn't he? He had that period where they were now towards the relegation zone. He just left. So I don't think we're
there's only so many times, Chris, you can go back to the well with the same players or the same manager, and that's why I think refreshing the squad becomes even more vital, because we've had players who've asked to be doing a lot under Klopp and they're asked to work very, very hard. So I think there's probably something to it, but if anything, it kind of reinforces our own argument that we should be refreshing the squad.
That's exactly what I think we should be doing it more, but that's exactly what we've done this season. We've let go of some older players and brought in younger players. Darwin's 23, sorry. Calvin Ramsey's 18, Carvalho's 19. Our forward line is, apart from Mo, and Bobby as well, but he's only got a year left on his contract. He's young enough. It's in a transitional phase, yeah, maybe, but finished. After 2 draws, come on, man.
We've become disgracefully predictable. And when people come to the ground with a half decent game plan, they kind of nullify us completely. We struggle.
Why does that mean that we're unbeaten in 2022 in the Premier League? So clearly, there's something there, mate. I don't get it.
It means, have we seen the peak? Have we seen the best we're going to see under Jurgen Klopp with these Liverpool players? Like, you think back to 18-19 and those seasons, like in the Champions League runs and the high intensity football and the free scoring, I do feel like there's something to it. I wouldn't go as far as to say we're finished, but I think there's a conversation to be had.
It's feasible to say that we have seen the peak into a 97 and a 99-point season, because that's the peak of pretty much anyone ever. So maybe that, but I don't think it's quite on such a straight downward plateau as many would suggest. I think you just got to these players. People said we were finished in 2020 to 21, and they bounced.
See, that was blatantly a false narrative. I couldn't get over when people said that. I was like, can you not see what's going on? This is not truly our squad. There's a reason this stuff's happened. Now is a different story. Listen, it's only 2 games in. We could easily go on a run now, but it's silly or entitled to just expect us to go and start winning now. We have to put the work in. And unbeaten is an irrelevant statement when we literally would have been better off losing a game and winning a game so far.
Can I say something that is probably going to sound really stupid when it first comes out of my mouth, but we're better than Real Madrid, and we lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League final.
Yeah. Oh, we fucked that completely. We were all over.
And I feel City will feel they were better than Real Madrid as well, and they somehow find a way to get beaten by them. PSG probably felt the same, but I'm wondering how much of a toll mentally this takes on the players, because there's been a lot of so close but yet so far. As we've been in 4 European finals. Granted, the first one wasn't really Klopp's team. It was, he was just taking over the Europa League, but we lost that. We lost the Champions League final. We finished second to City by a point twice. We've lost another Champions League final. This has to take its toll, and at some point, you got to start saying, we need to freshen this up. We need to get new mindsets in, because there's no denying these lads have a strong will and a mindset. No argument. They've come back from it and shown their credentials, but you can only go to the well so many times.
People call us a lucky club, like we've got the rub of the green loads of times, Istanbul, the Barcelona game, but like that Real Madrid final, the first one, like let's not talk about that. The Vincent Kompany for the first time in his life scoring a goal to win City the league that year. The City coming back from 2-0 down, scoring 3 in 15 minutes. Oh God!
Why having a worldie in the final?
Yeah, why can't we just get? Yeah, exactly. Why can't we just get the rub of the green sometimes? It's a fucking joke. Like City have won 4 out of 5, yeah, but like 2 of them by a point, it stings like fuck.
And that's what really I think hurts, Chris, because finishing so close to City and seeing them celebrate, it would be a lot easier. Like the season we finished 3rd, as an example, we finished that season on a bit of a high, weirdly, because of the way the season had gone. Last season, I can't speak for anybody else, but I finished that season with an awful sense of kind of melancholy, really, I guess is the word.
I assume it, and it's not because the team didn't achieve like what they achieved. They still got 91 points or 92 points, or whatever they got, and reached the Champions League final. It's because it's so close. And when it's that close, it seems so far. You've put all the work in, and you see another side lifting that trophy is frustrating. But I do think you got to be keen and say like the achievements of the players aren't degraded because of that. I still feel achieving 92 points in a season is a fantastic achievement, and it wins the league in the vast majority.
It means fucking nothing if you don't win the title.
Yeah, it's an irrelevant achievement.
But it doesn't mean
that the United players that won the title with like 70-something points, or the Arsenal players back then, they give a shit about us?
No, absolutely. Points. In the long scheme of things, it means nothing. In legacy, it means nothing. But it doesn't mean that they're shit.
But nobody said they're shit.
Well, no, it doesn't mean that they're completely off the wall. Like they've still put in the graft to get to that position. It's still like they've won games. They've dragged themselves out of nothing. Like it doesn't mean that everything they've done is irrelevant for me.
Football, I suppose, is what have you done for me lately? Really, if we're being honest. And it's the same from a managerial perspective as well. It's a high pressure, high reward job. And whatever way we speak about it, we finished last season with 2 domestic cups, and I feel really low about that because I started the season wanting one of the 2 big ones. The rest was just icing. And I don't know, Paddy, for me, it just felt like we fell short last season, as mad as that sounds.